following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.
For a third time over the season, the National Association for Stock Car Virtual Racing finds itself across the pond in Italy at a track called Monza, one that you might be used to for maybe some Formula One racing on the road course. However, did you know that way back in the 1950s and even further back, Monza had an oval? Now, granted, on the oval they actually turned right. And for the second time in the 3 trips, we're going to turn left on the Monza oval. Which, let's be honest, it's not up to safety elements for the series. But that's okay, because we're just crazy and we're going to have fun on a simulator and race Monza tonight in the Gen 4 cars in the Masters of the Draft, presented by Bet the Track. I'm the Captain. We get you ready for qualifying coming up here in just a few seconds. But as always, we have ourselves a race to run here tonight on this 2.64 mile oval that has corners about as tight as Darlington, but about as banked, if not higher, than Talladega. Speeds like they're running at iRacing Super Speedway. A jump over in turn 1 that's going to have you lifting off like you're at Daytona's airport. We're going to see it all here this evening. And who knows what's going to come out of it when it's all over with. All we know is that a bunch of drivers are ready to try to tame this monster known as the Monza Oval here this evening. We'll update the points and get you ready to go here in just a few moments during the pre-race show. But right now we got to see who's going to start on the pole, which is presented by Vivid EV. It'll be the fastest of the 2 laps as usual out here on the track. And so let's see who can tame it running by themselves. And there's that jump right over here in turn 1. This is the final corner of the road course that heads out. And this is the front straightaway that goes down to turn 1, which is a S chicane. But instead, they're going to be coming out of this little concrete strip right here that could be wrecks anywhere, basically, when it's all said and done here. So this is going to be interesting to see as we got cars starting to head out onto the track here. You see the apron as they work their way. You see the yellow line right in the middle of the track, basically. That's all the groove right up there above it is all the room you have. It's always nice when my daughter walks in and turns the microphone off on me. Anyways, qualifying underway. She was sharing that there's apparently some Sylvester Stallone movies being played on Pluto TV, Rocky and Rambo and stuff like that. As here we are, cars on track, as I mentioned. Let's see who's going to win the pole here this evening, as Dylan Pickleson are going to be one of the first ones across the line as we start to see the time show up here on the board. You do not want to hit that wall. You do not want to go to the grass. As you see the track, very bumpy. It goes through the woods here. You bring her out of turn 4, and the transition there is very, very interesting. This first lap there, that's Hayes, 45.8, nearly 200 miles an hour. AJ Condon up there in second right now in the 5 car. Dylan Picklesimmer in third. Steve Melnick, Scott Wise, your top 5 is the top 10 cars right now have already logged in speeds. A 45 flat is pretty much 200 miles an hour. That'd be on a 2.5 mile track. Yes, this is 2.6, so pretty close to a 200 mile an hour average by themselves. So you can only imagine as Condon goes to the top of the 45.67. If anybody can knock that off. You see the car running about 8,000 RPM as Picklesimmer is going to cross the line. And he's at a 45.80. He's P2. Brian Hayes has crossed the line. Melnick has crossed the line. Scott Wise moves to 4th. See if anybody else moves up the board here. Sam Taylor up to the 6th position. There's Travis Gilbert. There's 22 cars. He crosses the line, and he will be P14, 50.08 second lap. Something tells me he was just kind of logging a qualifying time, which is the rules of the series. There's no rule saying it's got to be like within 106% or whatever the old F1 rule used to be. I think 105, actually. So, looking at it, everybody's crossed the line twice, so AJ Condon will officially be the winner of the Vivid EV Pole Award. Congratulations to him, and a big shout out to Vivid EV, which helps with electrical vehicles, golf carts, and so much more. So big shout out to Vivid EV in this qualifying. And of course, qualifying is going to wrap up, so let's go ahead and jump on to the pre-race show, and let's talk to, before we show our point standings and stuff, the pole sitter here. Well, actually, we'll wait because they're going to go into a meeting here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and show you the point standings as we enter tonight's race. After his win last week in Daytona, it's Al Likens who leads the points by 2 right now over Dylan Picklesimmer, Sam Taylor, Stephen Melnick, Brian Hayes. Your top 5 in the points position. As you see last week, Picklesimmer and Likens leading 63 of the 100 laps in that race at Daytona. Nobody else led more than 10. So that just shows you how powerful those two drivers were last week. Now, what I don't see here tonight is Al Likens in this race tonight. So this is going to get interesting as some of these drivers don't make the appearance here tonight and so on and so forth, because that's going to basically set up and eliminate those guys out of the championship here for this Gen 4 series. Now, as for this overall standings, it is still the two-man show of Wells and Gilbert up there, 82 points separating them, as Shane Ward, who's been on Gilligan's Island for about the last 2 months, sits there in third. Stephen Melnick has moved up with Scott Wise overall in the 5th position. Of course, this is overall, this is all the, where are we at here? Let's see, 4, 8, 10, 16, 18 races after tonight complete in the series. So that is where we sit there. Team points was not up to date. At least I didn't see it. So I don't want to show an official number there when it's all said and done. Let's take a look at the schedule. Of course, we're all the way down here at the 5th block. In the Gen 4 cars tonight, 75 laps, stages 15 and 38. Which, of course, will be a chance to win bonus points. And then we'll hit the 07 Daytona track coming up next week, and in Talladega to start the month of March. Literally, the countdown is on, down to 7 races to go. 7 races to go overall before we crown ourselves an overall master of the draft. We've done the trucks, we've done the next gen, we've done the 87s, the Xfinity just wrapped up, and now Gen 4 cars. But this track itself, as I go to my good buddy, Mr. Wikipedia over here, as we look at the history of this Monza racetrack, which is actually known as the Autodromo Nacional Monza, which apparently hosts concerts, because that's the first thing that just popped up here as I was actually doing a search for it really quickly. Of course, it hosts the 3.6 mile racetrack road course just north of the Milan area. It was built actually back in 1922. It was the third purpose-built motor racing circuit after the Brooklands and Indianapolis. For some reason, Milwaukee Mile's not mentioned in there. But anyways, probably because that was a horse racing course at one point before it actually became a racetrack when it was all said and done. So believe it or not, according to Wikipedia, the oval was ran in 1955 through 1971. Now, normally, you would say this has four corners, right? Because you go into the corner and you come out of it just like any other normal oval, right? Believe it or not, according to Wikipedia, this track only has two corners. So basically, the way it's set up here in the logical explanation is, well, there's one turn, and then the other end, there's the other turn. There's not four turns in the track. The track record, officially, 54 seconds flat. And that was done by Bob Veith in a 1958 Indy car of 176 miles an hour. As you saw, the pole speed was 45 seconds, which is all of 9 seconds faster than that said IndyCar lap. So, like I said, and this track is literally not really been touched. Formula One used it 1955, 56, 60, and 61 during the Grand Prix, and which was an actual combined circuit, believe it or not. Now, the good news here is that when this circuit was released, there were no oval wrecks in F1, which I guess you could look at that as a positive. Otherwise, the track is just kind of sat there. All right, so it looks like they're on the track here. So I think the meeting has been adjourned. So let's get our pole sitter up here, AJ Condon, as he wins the pole tonight, presented by Vivid EV. AJ, obviously, congratulations on the pole here this evening. You might have the best seat in the house right here for lap one to be out front there, because tonight's going to be, I think, the biggest wild card left here in this season.
What's the over-under on cautions tonight? How many cautions do you think we're going to have tonight, Chris?
Oh, we're hearing AJ's voice here. Hang on, let me get AJ. I know exactly what's going on. So there must have been an update, a restart on my computer, or an update on my computer. When it does that, it actually will default my sound in Discord. Give me 1 second here, so I'm noticing this really quickly. And go to my options, and we'll get AJ in here talking here in a second. So I apologize for the inconvenience there.
You're good,
my
Chris.
Microphone, and then he's got to come out of my headset. There we go. He should be here now. AJ, got a copy? There we go. Yep, yeah, as usual, the restart of my computer. When it does an update, it seems to put all my settings back to default, so I have to make adjustments and things here. But, hey, man, honestly, a great run there in qualifying, putting that 5 car up there on the pole, but you might have the safest place to live going into turn 1. I don't even want to touch that number, to be honest with you, but obviously, this is a track, I mean, it has so many different qualities to it. It's got the speeds, it's got the draft. Corners, you could almost throw a Darlington kind of look to it because of how just tight the corners are. Is this one of those where you try to tell yourself and maybe your teammates and stuff that, hey, maybe we need to try to stay single file as much as possible through the corners and race down the straightaways? Yes, I'm noticing you are talking, but again, I noticed the update is kicking in.
Oh,
Here, so
lost you.
yeah, you're fine. Here we go. There we go. Let's do that again now. So, but yeah, I have AJ here, and obviously nobody heard what he said there a second ago. But yeah, you talked about how important it is to be single file through the corners.
Yeah, it's important. You gotta, if somebody gets beside you, you gotta let them go, or else you're gonna get into the wall.
So how important does that mean now? Like, you're obviously, you got to make passes eventually if you're mid pack or whatever. So getting that run down the straightaway, give and take, is that probably the biggest thing tonight?
Yeah, you really got to plan the runs down the straightaway here. Set up the pass, 2 turns ahead, so that you can get a good run down the straight.
Well, great job tonight winning the Vivid EV Pole Award. Congratulations on that, and maybe we'll talk here in a little bit in Victory Lane.
All right, thanks, dude.
Sounds good. That is, of course, AJ Condon, the Lightning, and the Pole Award winner tonight, presented by Vivid EV. Now, of course, we got practice about to wrap up here in about a minute and a half. So while we do that, we're going to go trackside and get you the playing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, cars about to wrap up practice here in just a moment, and we will get out here on the track. Looks like about 16 cars or so ready to go, over 225 miles an hour in a Gen 4 stock car around this 2.65-mile oval officially. So it's about the same size as Talladega when you look at it when it comes to distance around the track. The difference, though, is, again, you have corners that are Darlington tight. You've got transitions where one's a ramp going into turn 1. Turn 4 kind of fades away from you. As you get a look here going into turn 1, right above here, this is the corner coming out of the final turn in the Monza road course. You go up here to this oval that jumps, and then you're on this banking all the way around the woods here. There's a section of turn 2, or I should say turn 3, where the wall actually, the guardrail just comes out of nowhere, and if you're not paying attention to it, it will literally, matter of fact, there it is right there to the left of the track, will pierce your car. It will impale your car, and you will not go anywhere. There's a section off turn 4 you can get loose, and there's a wall over on the inside. If you hit it, you might as well go park the car because you're not running the rest of the race unless you have a reset left. There's so many different elements on this track that make it as wild as it is. We take a look at the starting lineup here. AJ Condon winning the pole, 45-67. Dylan Picklesimmer going to start to his outside. Brian Hayes in the 47. Great qualifying effort there. See if he can turn it into a good run here this evening. He'll start on the inside of Scott Wise, who unfortunately met that green barrel right there to the left earlier this season. He was one of two guys to literally pile drive into it. Stephen Melnick, Al Likens did make the race here tonight. First, it looked like he was going to be here, but here's Al, 6th position for the Daytona winner. Joe Wells, Jason Branch, row 4. Sam Taylor and James Hudson there, row number 5. Tommy Rogers in the 34, Shane Ward, the 39, Ryan Wilson, Tim Shiflett, Travis Gilbert going to start the back with Derek Jacobs. See the cars down the back straightaway. You can just see where the walls are just different. So there's places you could actually spin over here at the back, or at the end of turn 2, you can actually spin up that banking. I've done that before. I've run this track a few times, so I know plenty of little spots on it. As mentioned, 2.65 miles, 68 degrees, 74% humidity, partly cloudy skies. A track temp of 74 degrees, so it is warm. Stages 15 and 38. Again, there are no stage breaks, so we race. And if a stage ends, then it ends. We keep green. Awarded. You see the cars climbing up that banking. They don't actually have a banking number for you. On Wikipedia, as I've referenced a few times now, it literally says 30 or above. So we don't know if it's 36, we don't know if it's 40, we don't know if it's 30. We just know it's high banked. And it's Monza. And it's race number 2 of the Masters of the Draft Gen 4 Series presented by Vent2Track as they come to the start-finish line, which is all the way down here towards turn 1. And let's all say a prayer for these drivers. Green flag in race 2 is underway as they race up the straightaway here. You can almost see some wheel spin. And right there's that jump into turn 1. And Picklesimmer can take the outside wheel. One car's already up in the barrels. As Kanye taking it very carefully, tiptoeing his way through turn 2. Scott Wise going to be second. But look at the run these cars have as Al Likens, that GMAC insurance car. We got the Barbie Mobile back here. Already up over 200 miles an hour in every single car, single file. Right here, thinking you're gonna fall out. You can easily hit this wall right there and get loose. And for those who bet that we would not complete a lap under green to start the race, you just lost. Congratulations. Down the straightaway here, very long straightaways. And then the problem then becomes how do you be patient and give and take? Because you lose a lot of momentum. It's Likens to the inside. Has to kind of slide here. See how he has to get back in. Oh, AJ Condon out of shape. He gets tagged by Melnick there as he's up against the barrels. Going to get loose right there. And that car's a little beaten up now. See the leaders kind of spread out. Wise looking to the low side here, trying to get the draft. Likens right up there behind Picklesimmer, the power team from last week that led 63 of 100 laps at Daytona. Oh, his Wise is going to get loose down on the apron. And he's still trying to save her back there. And going to collect it. This goes back to trying to be side by side in these corners. It is tough. Safe she technically is because she's literally sitting 3 feet away from Scott Wise, and That title there is danger. Pass the word out to your friends and family. Appreciate everybody joining us here on this Tuesday evening. As Likens has moved past his teammate Pickle Simmer for the lead, giving himself some bonus points. The 2 of James Hudson has come up there. Melnick looking at the bottom. Darkwing Duck gets back in line. As all the 9 gets plowed into. He got to the outside. Oh, and Barbie's going for a ride. Oh, and around goes the 9. There's going to be your first caution. Sam Taylor, the tool man, goes around. We get the first yellow lap number 5 in the 75 lap race. Started back here a little bit. Started with no contact between the 22 and the 9, and then Scott Wise just had nowhere to go. And the Barbie car, that is Jason Branch. I don't know if there's a bet involved here or something with Branch or something here, I don't know. So it looks like Gilbert gets loose or something. He gets the wall, then I get stuck in the wall. The 31 plows into him. And unfortunately, Barbie gets hip checked. And Taylor finally loses control in front of everybody. Didn't get us a... It's already happened in this place. Let's do it again here. Down to turn 1 here. Trying to catch the... I think it's a 2-car Hudson. Oh, he gets himself up in the wall and just gets himself loose. Some leaders come to pit road here pretty early. Assuming everybody's just going to try to get damage fixed here for the most part. You don't want to use your reset yet up yet. Track position is going to be key here, so a lot of cars fueling up. Of course, the title sponsor of the series, Vet to Track, always helping out in the series. And not only that, they're helping out with veterans getting on the racetrack, a la motorcycle racing and more. It's a big-time mission that Vet to Track helps out with. And it's a really cool deal. So big shout out to Vet to Track for helping out and being the title sponsorship. Of course, we'll have the stage ends coming up at 15 to 38, presented by Wise Guy iRacing. Hard Charger Award presented by Superior Templating. Alright, so everything cycles out. Stephen Melnick in that 1 car going to lead, as we should get one to go this time by Brian Hayes, Dylan Pickle, Simmer, Al Likens, Travis Gilbert going to be your top 5 now. Should hit the road with about 6 laps to go in stage 1 here. Being board. Derek Jacobs and a couple others coming in to top off the fuel cell. So I'm looking at what was this? Tracks of the Past? Circuitsofthepast.com. And according to this website, the oval contained 2 banked corners with a 21-degree bank. So it's actually not as high as I thought it was. Both corners had a radius of 1,050 feet and were designed for a speed of 112 mile an hour. I don't think we're going to hit that amount. I think we're going a little bit higher. So it said 112. Okay, look at how that goes. Barely going 112 under caution. Those straightaways at 4,003 feet. All right, single file restarts tonight to try to keep everybody safe. Going to turn 1 here, so that's where you see Melnick bring him to the green. Oh, one car getting out of shape back there. Pickle Simmer's getting to his teammate. The 25 to 22 is going to get tagged. And he's going to go for a lazy spin and bring the caution back out. So one spin, obviously going to play a role here. Caution number 2. Watch this again. It's going to start right here with Pickleson. Watch as he gets on the gas here. You can just see the wheel spin there. About takes out the barrels there, gets him his teammate Mike down. Unfortunately, tail whips Gilbert. He's going to go for a lazy spin. The lock get down. Great job by everybody to miss it. Watch Gilbert again here. Pickle Simmer about took out the wall over there on the right. Everybody's going to get away from this one with some minor damage. And we'll try to get their car fixed. Is that GTR of Gilbert. So this is going to push right up to the end of stage 1 here. So we got 10 laps complete this time by. That looks a lot higher than 21 degrees. I think of like Charlotte Motor Speedway, it's 24. The Texas turn 1's 20. I guess maybe the tightness of the corner kind of throws everything off or something. But again, stage 1 ends at lap 15 here. So obviously we're going to cross the line to lap 11 here. Pits are going to open. Lap 12, we should get 1 to go. So about lap 13, we'll get the green with 2 laps to go in stage 1. Appreciate the viewers coming in to hang out here on this Tuesday evening. Always appreciate everybody who comes and hangs out. Everybody staying warm. It's been chilly where I'm at. Of course, now we got the snow system that all of a sudden has popped up and going to cause some issues to the south part of where I'm at. We've already canceled the airplane that flies in with our freight tomorrow. So I got to explain to the customers tomorrow that, there's stuff like that. Always a fun conversation to have. Feel bad about it, but it is what it is. Can't fly a plane in bad storms. So the good news, though, is I don't have to get up at 4 in the morning. So Shiflett, Wilson, and Taylor still on pit road getting their damage fixed here. It's safe to say a good portion of the cars already here with a lot of damage. And we ain't even gone 10. We just got past 10 laps. Pace car. We get one to go this time by. So like I said, we get the green with 3 laps to go. Can we get back to the end of stage 1? And so, who will be leading the race? And if we get another yellow, then we will likely end this under caution. And the all-important 10 bonus points right now, especially when you have a very tight point battle, just like you had last season in the Xfinity car. It came down to less than 10 points. Ryan Hayes doing a good job there, second position. Al Likens, who might have a little right front damage after that little tangle with Pickle Simmer. Those guys are third and fourth. You can see the damage, matter of fact, on the right front of that car. With James Hudson there in fifth, Joe Wells, Scott Wise, Tommy Rogers, AJ Condon, Shane Ward, your top 10. Weekend of a lot of people running the iRacing Daytona 500 and watching the rain-delayed Daytona 500. Seems like they're saying that every year now. I do not run the 500. I've pretty much gotten to a point where I think it's safe to say that the racing days are done for me. Yes, I have the wheel next to me, but it's it's a long story, basically, put it like that. Pace car is going to turn left here as we'll come to the green. 3 laps to go in stage number 1. Who's going to win? The Wise Guy iRacing graphic stage is Brian Hayes looking to the right there. You got to be careful if you're Melnick, because you can pass to the right on iRacing, not necessarily in the league. Protect an outside lane. Here we go, green flag, run by Likens to the inside there. Everybody single file through 1. Down the back straightaway, see Hudson looking for some air potential on the inside to scatter out, seeing where they are on the track. A little bit of a split about mid-pack or so. Everybody's going to scatter, trying to get themselves in the position they can as side by side, make it 3 wide for second. They go to, thankfully, single file. You can't go 2 by 2 into turn 1. They about tried 3. With that right front damage, not really hurt him too much as Hudson gets, or Hayes gets up there and pushes them. Melnick's trying to protect the outside lane. He's not got a chance. It's Picklesimmer works to shake and bake with Likens, who gets contacted by Melnick into the wall. As another car D-didos itself up into the wall there, he's able to finally save it as we stay green in the final lap of stage 1. And Tommy Rogers goes for a spin and caution comes out. And now Jason Branch with problems. And he is towed back to the pits. Carnage racing back to the end of stage 1. About 3 or 4 wrecks there. Off of turn number 4, Wise Guy iRacing Graphics Stage 1 winner is that guy right there, Dylan Picklesimmer in the 12 car. If you will catch the base car and lead, you will see what all just transpired there, because there was a lot of live action going on there. Rogers ends up going for a spin after Likens got in the wall. And there's oh wow, this guy, oh, Jason Branch, oh boy. There's that inside wall we spoke about. The 9 also with Taylor getting more damage, and the 34 involved, but Jason Branch we might want to send a prayer for. I talked about during the pre-race show, there's the inside wall over there off turn 4 that if you hit it, it's gonna hurt. Unfortunately, Jason Branch has met the inside wall. Right there. Oh, right. I mean, the front end goes into the little shortcut there that goes to the back straightaway there of the road course. And that's the dangers of this track. Is that there's parts of the track that well, Mark got the 2025 specs of protection. All right, leaders are on pit road here. Race is going to be won by Gilbert as he goes flying by. Shiflett, Picklesimmer. And others. Let's talk to the driver here real quick. Let's talk to our stage 1 winner who had a lot of momentum after last week's runner-up finish. TNT channel. Let's bring Dylan up here to us because been an interesting stage 1 here for the stage winner. Dylan, congratulations on getting the stage. I know it's been wild, but I know it's been probably 15 laps of also taking notes.
Yeah, for sure. It was fun. I took them 3 wide going into 3 and cleared them. That was a heck of a run.
Was that a little shake and bake action with you and Al?
He was up top, so I don't know. I just come out of 2, past the guy, and then I was like, whatever, let's just try it. I was practicing the bottom, like, in practice. I had a feeling I could back out of it and not cause a damp or caution, but we went with it and it worked, so got us a stage win, and I'll take it. We'll see if we can go front. Travis is gonna be quick, so we gotta worry about him. But
Well, we noticed that restarts can be a little hectic, and gotta ask, obviously, wheel spin looks like could be a factor.
yeah, that first time I pitted, I didn't take tires. This should be better. I took tires this time, but yeah, that it gets loose. I'll tell you that.
You gotta be careful. Well, great job so far here, man. Got stage 1 win presented by Sky iRacing Graphics, and you just continue to roll that momentum.
Yeah, hopefully I'm talking to you later tonight, man. Thanks for the broadcast.
Absolutely. Dylan Picklesimer. I waited to bring him in the booth purposely to do that.
Woohoo!
And it's the earliest I've gotten the name right so far, all 20-something minutes into a broadcast. So, nice job, Dylan.
Thank you.
Absolutely. As we get Dylan back to the booth, and it's kind of funny. I'm going to go ahead and admit this now. As Dylan can actually hear me still saying this, yeah, I really did get it right to it.
It's okay.
As we get Dylan down to the chin. Simon. And we'll come to the green this time by. And it's gained 13 positions in this race so far. Tim Shiflett going to lead him to the green. Picklesimer second. Melnick, Hudson, Wise. Your top 5. Of course, next week is the 07 Daytona track, which is the old bumpy one, which is kind of made for this car because, you know, these are the cars that ran on that track back in real life, back in the heyday of NASCAR. Back in the Earnhardt days, and Rusty Wallace, Bonnie Jarrett. Need I say the super speedway great Sterling Marlin, Kodak Crosspipe number 4 car. All right, coming to the green flag. Pace car lights are off. Shiflett, of course, stayed out here, so let's be careful. Wheel spin on his part. You see Picklesimer sitting right up on that rear bumper. As a matter of fact, they've pulled some space on Melnick already. Ain't even taking a green flag. Melnick gets back up there like, hey, wait up a second. Yes, here we go. Green flag as Scott Wise comes to pit road. Ryan Wilson sitting on pit road. Jason Branch taking his car behind the wall. Here we go. Picklesimer looking inside. And you see Melnick trying to get a draft. Here comes the 22 back there. Travis Gilbert came to pit road. And that 2 cars, Hudson and Miller Light number 2. Got it mixed up with that one of the black cars earlier. Into a green flag run here potentially. So they work their way over the ramp into turn 1. Up back there, one car in the wall. That's Gilbert again. He gets it sorted out, gets himself back into the draft. It just shows you how tough it is to be side by side. As he's got to scramble around trying to protect their lanes. Matter of fact, Shiflett's going to fall all the way back to lose 50, lose more momentum. As here comes that second pack with a full head of steam. It looks like Likens actually is going to check it a little bit there, but wow. Shiflett not to lose too much momentum as Gilbert goes to the outside here. 2 cars in 1. Great pass by the 22. Gilbert racing with some passion here tonight. He's going to go the lead, it looks like. As he slides up with Travis Gilbert leading for the first time this evening. Number 21. He's going to want to get that vet track car back up there. He and Joe Wells and others had a little bit of luck issues the last few weeks. Change as a team. That 7 cars we'll call it in this lead draft right now as we go back to Shane Ward and ride with him in at 39 cars. He follows the 5 of AJ Condon. Brian Wilson back on pit road. Scott Wise still off track, so I'm not sure what happened at 31, but he's got some issues. Gilbert falls all the way back to 4th now. So now that Howard team up to the front here as Gilbert tries to get a lot of momentum. Slides in front of Dylan Green. He would take there as Picklesheimer could have easily hooked the 22 to the wall. Lives to find another day here. He's going to get a big run off of the back straightaway here. I mean, 2 for 1 special right there. A little shake and bake right there. Simon and Gilbert, just unintentional though, because I know they're not teammates technically. As Gilbert's going to try to get the 2 for 1 here. So what I'm seeing here is a way to go from 3rd all the way to 1st. And I'm sure there's a lot of give in there. Like, hey, go ahead and slide on up here in front of me. Dillon looking inside of the 22 car, and he will take the lead back here. So the leader's kind of getting into a rhythm. As you see, a 3-car breakaway. That's 1.8 seconds back to Shane Ward and Melnick, who are now side by side. Gilbert back in front now, so yeah, they're literally rotating the lead, and they are pulling away from Stephen Melnick, so they've got something here that they have figured out drafting-wise. And it's almost like the old, what do they call it, is it an Indian lap, I think it's called? Where you're running a single file line, the guy in the back runs all the way to the front, then the next time around, the guy in the back goes to the front, and it just rotates back around like a caterpillar almost. Impressive this plan here. Trying to settle down amongst themselves potentially here. See Melvin falling back to the 6th position. Joe Wells and the Dale car paying tribute to the arguably the best super speedway racer in NASCAR. Dan Earnhardt. That's 4 years ago today. Just yesterday. Everybody pretty much single file file. Front 3 cars have cleared the lead pack, which is 3.6 seconds now back. And then Melnick Rogers joined Joe Wells, AJ Condon, Shane Ward. 5 cars in this pack. As we have 10 laps to go next time by in stage 2. You wonder, is this the separation that the pack needs to just run some green flag laps here? Car caught the outside wall there, just a glimpse. See the bumpiness in the track, see some cars bottoming out there a little bit. This track is not smooth. Up the track goes a lap car. That's the Sam Taylor, who's involved in a couple accidents here tonight. He needs some major help if he wants to get back on the lead lap here. He can help with some yellows, but now Gilbert leading Pickle-Simer and Al Likens for top 3, and then it's 6.5 seconds now back to 4th. Let's watch Dylan get this run at the straightaway here. Appreciate the viewers hanging out here this evening. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hang out for these next 7 weeks before we call it quits here on YouTube and iRacing and stuff. Of course, I know there's been a lot of talks amongst friends of mine and stuff. You know, people have asked me that question, like, are you really done after this is all over with? And best answer I can give the viewers right now is, for a very long time, yes. Obviously, it's one night a week now. I'm here on the stream. There's other nights hanging out with the family and getting some sleep and stuff. I can honestly say that it's the best I have felt in years. And I mean that, like, feeling as in lost weight, as in sleep, and yeah, something I'm pretty proud of to say that. So either way, we're gonna still enjoy these few weeks to go here. So again, top 3 now 9 seconds ahead of Joe Wells. And Melnick, Shane Ward, and then back here, Tommy Rogers is kind of hanging out by himself. Don't blame these guys at all for running back here the way the cautions have flown here so far. AJ Condon back here. There's Tim Shiflett, Brian Hayes. And Derek Jacobs back here hanging by his lonesome. Track, 2 cars, Scott Wise and Jason Branch. You got Ryan Wilson, who is 11 laps down, Sam Taylor 3 laps down, and then James Hudson in 2 cars a lap down right now as we come up to 5 laps to go this time by in stage number 2. Tim Shiflett going to be on pit road. I believe this is a scheduled pit stop for the 54 car, as he stayed out during that last caution. Obviously 4 to go. You want to be able to get to that lap 38 mark so you can end stage 2 and then go ahead and come to pit road. But then you got to start back time in a race too. If you stay green, what's the farthest you can go on fuel? Make sure you can do it on one stop to get the rest of the way. 7th, make that 8th. And one car looks like it's spun back here. Or is that, actually, you know what? I take that back. That's Shiflet was leaving pit road. He's just come off pit road very slowly. I thought he spun. He was going so slow. Coming to 2 laps to go in the stage this time by. As Picklesimer is going to come to pit road with Gilbert and Lycan. So the top 3 all coming to pit road with 2 to go in the stage. And that's going to hand the lead to AJ Condon here. Picklesimer in 4 tires and fuel. Green flag pit stops from Monza. There goes Gilbert. Travis with a 2-tire stop. He's going to try to get out of that draft and get out there by himself. As these cars merge back onto the track. AJ, Joe Welch, Steve Melnick, Shane Ward, Tommy Rogers. The top 5 in this pack. So you see the white flag as Condon crosses the start-finish line now as Melnick comes to pit road along with the 2 of James Hudson. So the other question, can these guys get back to the start-finish line? Oh, and the leaders get turned! Wells gets into Condon, and that hands the lead to Shane Ward. Oh, the mayhem and the madness of Monza. Shane Ward wins stage 2. Presented by Wise Guy iRacing Graphics. As Rogers and Condon come to pit road now. A big shout out to Race Fan 1973, who's always hanging out when he can. Sharing his support for the troops and being a vet himself, so we say thank you to you also for what you've done for this country. But this race has gone all bonkers here. Ward is kind of out here by himself. He's coming to pit road now. We'll see where Gilbert comes off of the track here. As a matter of fact, he's coming to turn 4 right about now, I think. But I think we literally have everybody separated out now. Gilbert's going to take the lead to turn 1. Picklesimer, he's got Al Likens there behind pushing him. So there's the power team, the 37 car, if you will. 12 and 25. Ward still on pit road. Tommy Rogers going to be the next car to see if he can catch Ward. As Shane gets up to speed now. And Tommy's over in turn 4, so actually Shane's going to get out ahead here. So that tells me we've got at least one more stop here to go as Stephen Melnick is back on pit road in the 1 car. This has got to be a penalty of some kind here. As Melnick leads 7.5 second stop, so I'm not sure what that's about. As there's your leader, you see the Two behind him just went about 9/10 of a second faster at a 43, or make that 44.58. Gilbert running 45.45, so it's literally 8/10 of a second separation here in time. And Shane Ward's to get 24 seconds back, and it's AJ Condon, and here's Tommy Rogers trying to push the 5 car. And if I'm the 5 and the 34, I'm almost saying to each other, hey, I'm not going to get out of line. Let's just push each other, lift the draft, and catch other cars and try to make a pack out of it to go catch the leader. And it might be a good long-run plan to make this work out as you see the draft now catching up to Gilbert. Simer and Al Likens have caught Gilbert, and here he goes for the lead. We're taking a little bit in here in this race. These three back together again, and this is what the field does not want, because these three have done a great job drafting off each other. The main reason why it's a 26-second difference. Likens back to Shane Ward right now. Laps in the books this time by. Again next week, 8:30 Eastern time, is I think Gilbert actually led that lap there looking out the corner of my eyes. We will be at the 07 Daytona track, so another wild card like this one will be the last time on the bumpy 07 track. We'll see you at 8:15, 8:30, somewhere in that range Eastern time next week. Trying to set yourself up. How do you get yourself to the front to win this race? Because right now the only three you would think with a mathematical chance to win this race would be the three on your screen: Gilbert, Picklesheimer, and Al Likens. If you're Al and Olin, you try to work together and get yourselves out in front of the 22 car and try to drive away yourself, or do you try to add the 22 to the pack with you, just like it is right now, and settle amongst yourselves? One thing's for sure, I think they expected to go as they have so far in the screen flag run of almost 10 laps now. 29 laps to go, only 3 cautions for 9 laps here, so finally these guys are kind of getting used to Monza, and of course it's the last time they'll be here. As they ran the last time, they actually went backwards the clockwise way, which is the actual traditional Monza track. Easy to think because of our traditional rules that this track is built to go counterclockwise or left-handed turns, when actually that's turn 1 right there. Looks like Dylan and Al just kind of committed to staying behind that 22 right now. And the other factor you got to look at is how hard it is to push. Just ask Joe Wells and AJ Condon. Seven cars on the lead lap. Stephen Melnick, who was looking pretty good earlier in this race, Unfortunately, now in the 10th position after some issues. Not sure if it's a fueling issue or a penalty or something. Rogers with them in this train. And after that, you got Brian Lee's back here in the 7th position in that 47 car as he's trying to catch. One of those lead cars at the moment. Right now is that 47 car, and you see the top 3 have not moved a muscle. They've separated themselves out in the pack and just running laps together, and they're starting to catch other cars. You saw Hayes is just in front of this pack as he's about to go lap down here momentarily. Impressive, these guys. I know it's a smaller field, but it does take some patience and a lot of give and take amongst drivers to make a setup work on a track like Monza here. And you know, as the 2 car gets loose and keeps it off the wall. Can he keep it off the pit wall? He does that too. A great save by James Hudson. If you ride with Derek Jacobs, a name we haven't said all night, 30 car running in the 8th position here. And he's going to come to pit road with 25 laps to go. There's the 3 and the 39 trying to work together now. Seeing what they can get. And if they can stay in a tandem with each other here. Wells, they're going to need a lot of space here. They need about 20 seconds to Tommy Rogers. So they're way back after their mishap just a second ago. When do these leaders come to pit road for the final time? Well, the underbridges are definitely victims tonight of some scares. We've had a couple already this evening. Leaders stay out, you know, they're each other right now. Gilbert's still hanging on there. Got a couple lap cars now, part of this pack as they only bring this pack together now. The difference is there's about 2 or 3, maybe 4 cars. The rest of them are a lap down. These cars kind of spread out here and being patient with each other. Gilbert, you know, trying past these lap cars that likely have some damage to them. That's why they're slowing down. only seen 3 cautions, which is night and day compared to what we saw the last time we were on the left-handed turn oval, which was all the way back, I believe, at the next gen level. Verify that really quickly. Yes, it was actually the second race of the season in trucks. And if you remember in that race, there was a pretty good amount of cautions if you were watching it here. These guys have been patient enough to only have 3 cautions as Gilbert's on pit road along with Condon and Sam Taylor. To go. Hey, you too. Thanks, buddy. As here come Pickle Simon. Oh, and the 2 car just impaled himself into the wall right there at pit entrance. Trying to go side by side with Al Likens on the pit road, and oh no, he's going to get by other cars. The 34 Rogers and Hayes, and we have a traffic jam at the entrance of pit road. Mention, getting reports that Melnick has had issues on the track. Let's see what happened to the 1 car a few minutes ago, but he is towed back to the pits. Did not catch this in the highlights. This is actually Tommy Rogers, but Melnick here. Here we go. Outside wall over there in turn 4, and he catches the outside wall more, and oh, wow, hit the pole. I mean, these guys are finding every gap in the wall tonight. That is a lick. Race is kind of turned into a demo derby a little bit here. He gets stuck in the outside wall, and I mean, he literally, oh, right into the light pole. And let's see if we can. That was what, lap 55, I think, that just happened to. Right in here. Let's. Okay, this was not when it happened. All right, here we go. Got the replay here for you. And then James Hudson hits whatever that. Was that the wall jutting out over there that he hit? Something over there to the left. Yeah, he hit the corner of the wall there. And then, unfortunately, pit wall's very narrow here. And, well, here comes Rogers and others coming to pit road. And, well, things just did not work out right here. So now it is A two-car battle from Picklesheimer and Gilbert. As Al Likens, unfortunately, has gone behind the wall. So I did not see what happened to Al. I know we were trying to cover all these replays. See what happens to Al. Al's coasting into his pit stall here. And he had heavy damage from something. Something happened to Con Bell liking to go behind the wall after losing a bunch of laps. He and Picklesheimer. Oh, right here. Outside wall. Tries to go to pit road. And did we... Oh, he hit the wall too. I did not see this. Everybody's having wall issues. Find a spot on the wall and mark your territory. As we now have 3 cars on the lead lap. We have 9, 10, 11 cars left on track out of the 16 that started. I didn't want to say a strategy, but in my head I was kind of wondering if the best idea was to just let the demo derby happen and finish where you finish. Meaning, stay out of trouble. If you do that, you might be sitting right up there in the top 5 right now. Back here in the 3rd position. He's going to get a lot of help. He is 34 seconds back from the main lead. He tries to push his teammate Joe Wells along. Joe's in the 5th position right now. That's the leader. Oh, some contact there almost, and I almost gets out of shape. Kind of swerving in the mirror there as they're pushing with each other. 10 laps to go. And what has actually turned out to be kind of a entertaining race here with the circumstances of Monza. Fun to watch. They're trying to battle their way through a track. I know they're going to be tired after this. Gilbert look like as of right now to be battling for the win of this race, but as you know, anything can happen. You might have a scene that's kind of reminiscent to the 79 500. Kelly Arborough, Bobby Allison leading down the back straightaway to contact. They both wreck. Meanwhile, 3rd place is all the way back in turn 1 and 2 with Petty and AJ Ford and Darrell Waltrip, and lo and behold, they go past the wreck and end up battling for the win. Pickle, Simmer, and Gilbert come together, and all of a sudden it goes back to Shane Ward in the third position, who's 35 seconds back. I mean, you throw the track map up here for a second. The leader is going to turn one, and Shane Ward is all the way back here. It's the 39 cars in the middle of the back straightaway. Noticing that Joe Wells is kind of catching the car up here in the fourth position. Not sure who Joe's got around him here. He's got about a second back to Brian Hayes and then 1.8 back to Rogers. And there's the answer right there. He's got another G Lightning car there pushing him. As a matter of fact, that's Shane Ward. Laps to go this time. Tenths of a second of separating 1 and 2. And it's 36 seconds back to third. And our next battle is actually going to be about right here. Wells tries to hold off Brian Hayes and Tommy Rogers behind him. Five to go. But it's going to turn up. 50-lap run here, I think, or so, if I'm getting the numbers right. Appreciate the viewers coming and hanging out here this evening. Thanks, Lauren, for the update there. I didn't get to see this stuff after I found out what really happened. Lauren's giving me an update on the wreck with the 25 and the 2. Kind of interesting. Where have we not really seen too much of a wreck? We've had some contact and one car lazy spin, but we haven't had anybody go and hit the inside barrel or anywhere in turn 1 where that jump is. So everybody did a good job of kind of taking the warning seriously. Scott and Lauren car getting loose, Picklesheimer, and that's going to give the lead to the 22 car. Loose here, clipped the apron. Not sure if there was contact behind him. But Gilbert's going to take the lead here, and Picklesheimer's about to have a huge run in the 1 and 2 here. Gilbert pulls over to try to block the run, but Gilbert's just fast. That mistake again as we come to 2 laps to go. See what happened to cause that. And Dillon's got loose right there, and you saw Travis had to fight the wheel. Down the back straightaway, 2 cars battling for the win here. 9 just kind of playing nice guy to everybody. Taylor helps Picklesheimer catch up to the 22, and now he's sitting on the back of the 22. Lo and behold, after 3 quick cautions here tonight, we are going to go to the white flag this time by, as 2 cars trying to figure this out. Down the back straightaway, Picklesheimer might use a 34 for a pick. Up the middle, Travis forces it. Takes the lead. Oh, he hit some kind of bottom out there, and big run from Dylan now. As they drag race to the start-finish line. Dylan Picklesheimer with the win. Holds them off by 2/100ths of a second. Shane Ward, the only other car that's going to finish on the lead lap here. Going to finish 3rd, Joe Wells 4th. Brian Hayes, your top 5. I was wondering if Travis made the move too soon. And a great job, both of these guys racing it clean to the finish. Winnebago number 12 car goes to victory lane for Dylan. I believe he's going to fact check this. I believe it's his 2nd win of the season. And should move him close. Now he's got 100. Well, it should be close to the top 10 overall in points. Yep, his 2nd win. Becomes the 3rd 2-time winner, 2 or more wins on the season. The only other 2 are Gilbert and Wells. Celebrating by burning it down. Gonna go to Victory Lane, which Victory Lane's right up there, actually. It's where they celebrate here at Monza. As Dylan drives around, let's take a look at our finishing order. 3 cars on the lead lap. Don't go down there, Dylan. It's dark. As Dylan wins it by 2/100ths over Gilbert. Ward 3rd, Wells 4th, Hayes 5th. AJ Condon finished the 6th. Tommy Rogers, Derek Jacobs, Sam Taylor, Tim Shiflett ends up 10th. All these other cars finished off the track. Ryan Wilson, Al Likens, James Hudson, Stephen Melnick, Scott Wise, and Jason Branch. Last but not least, he is on the 2nd sheet. There he is, finishing in the 16th position. Let's talk to our top 3 finishers here, starting with Shane Ward. Shane looking for another good finish and pulled this one out. And Shane, of course, 10th in points entering tonight's race after an up and down Daytona race, and a great way to make up for that in a 3rd place finish, and I would think pretty satisfied with the survival.
Yeah, actually, it kills the memory of last week, so that's a good thing.
Well, obviously, it was an interesting race. Kind of surprising to go to last, 50 laps, pretty much they're caution free. But nonetheless, man, surviving and trying to put yourself in the best position there had to be pretty tough.
Yeah, the whole time actually, I was sitting back because I honestly wasn't confident with how I was going to do. I was expecting a lot of wrecks, and I was expecting to be in one of the wrecks. But luckily, sitting back, I was able to save enough fuel to kind of extend me, and I was able to win the second stage, which was a huge bonus for points. But it was funny because a bunch of us were all joking that we thought for sure this was going to be a wreck fest. So to have 50 laps go without a yellow flag shows that we can do it if we actually all race with our heads.
Well, let's be granted here, too, and say there were plenty of action in that 50 laps. We just never got a car spun out on track, basically. But either way, yes, we'll give the credit where credit's due. A caution's a caution, and when there's not, there's not. So, obviously, a great job there. And talk about just trying to keep the car safe because, I mean, it's a very narrow track, very easy to make contact. The wall reached out and grabbed you at times, so cars getting loose. I mean, it was definitely very tempting out there.
That wall has some grabby hands. That's all I'm going to say. Every time you went up near it, I swear it was something just pulled you right into it. So it was like trying to hold that low line. But then as soon as you hold that low line, you swing right back up high anyways. So there was a lot of wheel movement for me anyways. I don't know about anybody else, but I was fighting that wheel so hard just to try to keep it off that wall.
You bring up a great point there. This Gen 4 car is a magnet. When it hits a wall, it's like it gets stuck there.
Yeah.
Yeah, great point on that one. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations. Send some shouts wherever you like to.
Oh, yeah, thank you. First, I'll thank my sponsors, Crest Fire Extinguishers and NOS Energy Drinks. I want to thank my teammates at G Lightning Motors and G Motors. We've got to go with Joe, Travis. Got to thank AJ for a great help a little bit there. Got to thank the family for hanging out. Got to thank you for the broadcast, you and eSports. And definitely got to thank Scott and Lauren for actually having this league because it has been fun. There's been times where it hasn't been fun, but overall, at the bigger picture, it's been a fun league.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Shane Ward finishing in the third position. Congratulations to Shane on a great finish here. We'll bring his teammate up here, the champion from a couple of seasons ago in one of the blocks of racing here in the Vet2Track Masters of the Draft. He's in the Vet2Track car, and what a great run, Travis, here tonight. You fall up a little short. You and Dylan were able to pull away from the pack, but it was not because of some early stuff that was going on, and it just seemed like you were kind of a punching bag at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, that's what happens. Coming to my second lap on qualifying, coming off a 10.4, the car got the weeble wobbles, and with these cars, I just could never get it back. So I dang near hit the front stretch. So put me way behind. But the 22 Vet2Track GTR is a fast race car. So yeah, Dylan there on that one restart, him and Al had a check up and a situation, and thankfully, I didn't come back up across the track and get murdered. So I had 8 seconds of damage, and the crew chief says the front end was destroyed. And I said, what? So, yeah, well, because I hit the damage report button, and he said the front end is destroyed. And I was like, Joe's like, huh? I seen it. It looked good. I said, oh, no, man. He's like, are you going to use your fast repair? And I'm like, I don't know. We'll see how bad the damage is, and I might have to roll around. And go in, it's only 8 seconds, so I breathed a sigh of relief there, and we just got back to digging.
And it definitely worked out for you this evening. The other thing I have to ask is, did you make the move too soon?
Yeah, but I had to pit 1 lap sooner than them because I led them laps there. They decided to check up and do a little fuel save. And I don't blame them. That's part of the game. They were teammates. I didn't have a teammate to work with, unfortunately, so they became my teammates in that moment. And we have a history of working together, Dylan and Al and myself. So, there's a couple times you see me just letting them go to try to save fuel. And yes, I did. That lap car put me in a bad decision. It was either do it, because Dylan had his teammate Sam with him. So
right.
If it would have just been mano a mano, I would have just waited until turn 4 like he did. But with the lap car and with Sam, I was hoping to get by him, but actually Dylan in the lap car put enough air on me to where it dragged me down to where I just barely got by him, and then he got into or it looked like he got into the fence. He said he didn't, but then he just was able to drive, and I didn't want to take the chance of side drafting him to drag him back to beat him to the start finish line and turning him and ending the race like that. So we'll take second. Congratulate Dylan on his win. GLM, you know, we had 2-3 for a finish, 4 I think, 2-5. It was a good run for us. Unfortunately, our team couldn't get together to work together. Dylan and his team did a good job. Sucks that Al had whatever happened on that pit stop. So Al deserved to be up here to have a chance to win the race and to finish on the podium. He had a good race. So really appreciate the G Lightning Motors gang and everything, because it's been a rough stretch. I haven't talked to you in a couple of months.
I was going to say it's been a little bit. Matter of fact, I believe the last time your car saw the podium was when, of course, the name's going to slip my head, but your fill-in guy went to Victory Lane a couple last season.
Yeah, Josh McKinney.
Josh McKinney, thank you. Yeah, won Talladega. And but nonetheless, man, I just peeked over. You're actually third in points going to next week at the 07 Daytona. You and Joe about 51 to 58 points back right there, team wise, to Dylan, who's got a pretty good head start here in these first 2 races. But with the bonus points and so much, that's an easily manageable number.
Yeah, right now, you know, Dylan said something he said that he's got top 3 finishes in a row and he's finally turning it around. That's the way I feel. Like last week, we had a fast race car. I just made a dumb decision and didn't use my fast repair with 5 minutes, thinking that we were just going to have a bunch of wrecks like we usually do, trying to play that guessing game of, do I use my fast repair or I don't? And I went, we went like green the rest of the way. So finally, like 2 pit stops before the end of the race, I said, okay, we got to use our fast repair. And we finally were catching the leaders and faster, but it was a dumb decision. Bad leadership on my part in the 22 gang and some of the GLM Lightning Motors. We played the wrong strategy, and to be honest, you know, Dylan and his group, they're kicking it right now.
Well, I'm gonna kind of throw my hand in there for a second and say I wouldn't call it a dumb decision on your part. Just unfortunately, it was a chance you took that didn't work out.
I read the interview. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've seen dumb decisions made, and you know, I think it's more of a chance you took in the end. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just it's a risk versus reward. You're playing the strategies.
Right.
You know, you're hoping in a situation like this. I hate to say it, but you're hoping that the people that are the usual causes of cautions are the usual causes of cautions. You know?
I get you.
So, and that didn't happen. So, I mean, that's a good thing that it didn't, because it's
Right.
a good product and everything like that. We don't want a caution fest, but honestly, once you get used to something, that's the way that it goes. You got to base strategy off and around
Right.
that.
Like, where were you when I needed you?
Yeah, I kind of like, yeah, you know how it is. We've all been there.
Oh,
Super
absolutely.
Speedway racing, so, or even, you know, in real life in general. So,
Oh, wow.
like, you know, needing your favorite driver to get a random caution, a debris caution, or not need one. So,
Why do
it's good.
Why do I see a Recce Spinhouse comment coming in here somewhere?
Oh yeah, you know, being a Kurt Busch fan, we called. Well, I'll keep it PG, but he wasn't my favorite driver on super speedways. Neither was Jimmy Johnson. Seemed like when the 47 and the 48 got around Kurt Busch ended up in the wall, spun out in front of the track somehow, in front of the field. So, them drivers right there, yeah, them are the usual causes of cautions in real life. So you plan around that according in crew chiefs and spotters and drivers strategy. Same thing with this stuff. And honestly, I thought it was a good race for the most part at Monza. I wish we had a bigger field.
I agree. Well, great job tonight. Send some shout outs.
Oh yeah, just want to thank my mom, my sisters, and my nephews. They always watch, you know, they put in a lot of effort. They always celebrate this stuff and they're happy, so I appreciate them. Terry Tweet, they watch. Chauncey, their son, everybody at G Lightning Motors, VetTheTrack.org. About time we finally get them into the conversation as the sponsor. You know, VetTheTrack Victory Lane is going to go to Dylan, so hopefully he gives them a shout out. So nonetheless, we'll give a shout out to VetTheTrack for sponsoring Dylan's Victory Lane tonight, and Vivid EV for the pole award. And Captain Esports Network. The races are starting to count down. I'm a little sad about that. Don't think that I haven't forgot about it. So appreciate you for everything that you do. You know, Lauren and Scott, you know, it's been a season and stuff like that. So appreciate them for what they're doing. They got to go through their life issues and everything that they got to prioritize, and then plus put up with all of our maniacs thinking that we're all Dale Earnhardt Sr. and we all got the best car and we're gonna win. So you put 40 of us on the same track and causes chaos in real life and in the sim too. So appreciate everybody that puts in money, effort, time. All my G Lightning games, you know, AJ, Joe, Shane, congratulations on the stage win. And that's about what I got to say, man. Appreciate you guys, and hopefully we can see you guys. I need to win because I had kept the streak of winning in each block alive, and technically McKinney did that for me, Josh, but now I need to do it in the Gen 4.
There you go. Go get it so you can get yourself back in the track victory lane. So great job, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris, for your time, man. We appreciate you. You have a good week until next week, brother.
Sounds good. Be safe. Travis Gilbert, the second place finisher. Appreciate his time as always. And as he kind of mentioned to us, we are going to go to Victory Lane, presented by Vet to Track in the Masters of the Draft Series, and talk with our winner, Dylan Picklesheimer, who, man, what a battle it was. What a great effort. You and obviously your teammate there, Al, that you got the 37 car, I guess I'm going to call it, the power couple. Working together. They're up there in the front leading some laps. Of course, Al, unfortunately, well, he and the 2 car tried to fit 2 cars into a spot that barely fit one, and they had issues, so it left you down to you and Travis, and lap car coming into play, and Travis made his move, and you were able to do what you had to do. Talk about that last lap there and the move you had to make to get to the finish line.
Yeah, man. I had Sam with me. He had to save a little gas, so he got back there with us and was saving a little gas. And I mean, of course, he's my teammate, so he's trying to help me as well. But I know Travis he raced me respectfully all night. I appreciate that, and I knew he was just waiting to take the run off of 4 is what he should have done, but he took it off of 2, and then I knew I would have the run out of 4, so it's just a matter of getting to the line, honestly. So it worked out perfectly. I think that lap car kind of threw Travis off, so I was kind of happy that lap car got in the way. I think it was Tommy. And then, yeah, so I just beat him to the line, and it was nice. I had fun. This was probably one of my most fun races I've had here, for sure.
Yeah, it's not many fun races at Monza, but you guys, as it was mentioned, had 3 early cautions, but then going the last, 45, 50 laps caution-free there, and yeah, you had plenty of cars have carnage during that 50-lap green flag run, but you were able to keep it there between the yellow line and the guardrail to get to the finish. So that had to be a pretty good feeling, and well, I guess the part that not knowing what was about to happen.
Yeah, I expected the caution to come out anytime. It didn't, and I was able to pit a lap later than Travis, so I was good on gas. I rode behind Sam for a little bit just to save a little bit more, but I knew he had to save. Travis did, so I was just kind of pushing the pace right there. I almost lost it coming into 3 with like 5 to go.
I did see that.
I was able to save it, man. And my wife, she's Italian, so I guess we won in her homeland today, so it worked out for us.
There you go. Never ask her. I think I've told you this before. Never ask her if she makes pasta with ragu. Anyways, that's a joke I've learned with Italian. Being married into a family myself. Is yeah, they make their own pasta sauce. You don't ever ask them that question. But on the series side, obviously you become the 3rd 2-time winner or more in the series. Obviously Travis and Joe have had a real good head start on the season, and of course you get your 2nd win tonight, so that's got to be a good feeling.
Oh, for sure. I'm finally turning my season around. It's been rough till the last 3 weeks. I think I finished top 3 last 3 weeks for sure, probably even 2nd or better, at least the last 2 weeks. I know I've been in interviews all last 3 races, so I'm doing something right?
Right. Well, I enjoy talking to you. So, 50-point lead going into the 07 Daytona next week. That's got to be a good feeling also.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to that. I'll actually be, I live in Iowa, but I'm going home for 2 weeks to North Carolina to see my family. So I'll have to do it down there. Hopefully we won't have any issues with internet, but I'm just hoping to keep the lead and see where we're at the end of these things.
Absolutely. Well, safe travels to North Kakalaki, and send some shouts whoever you like to.
I'm gonna shout out my mom and dad. I'm gonna make them watch this race with me when I get down there.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Yeah, but I want to shout out my Italian side of the family. We did it in Italy. There we go. I got that win for us, and of course, shout out to you, and then shout out Lauren and Scott. I feel like I've done this 3 weeks in a row, but shout out Joe for the paint scheme. Shout out Travis for racing me clean. Shout out to Al for helping me. Sam, James Hudson, Daryl. Even though he's not in here, I still gotta shout out my boy. I miss that dude, and yeah, I don't think I miss anybody, man. I appreciate it.
Pizzelles for Dylan. Let's get it done. Italian cookies. In case you never knew that. Yeah. Great job tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you,
Yes, sir. Dylan Picklesheimer, the winner tonight here at Monza, as he becomes the third winner here at the track and becomes the third multi-time winner on this season. So congratulations to him. And, of course, the interview presented by Vet to Track in Victory Lane here. So thanks to Vet to Track for what they do, not only for the series, but also for Victory Lane interviews and stuff. Travis Gilbert actually got the Hard Charger Award here tonight, which is presented by Superior Templating. Gained 13 spots from the 15th position up to second. So congratulations to Travis on winning that award there. And the point standings, they have been updated. Dylan, 50-point lead now, officially over Brian Hayes, who's second in points. Travis Gilbert, Joe Wells, Al Likens, your top 5. And I think if you can keep it under 100 points, you've got a shot right now, with bonus points and so on going into play here as we go to the 07 Daytona coming up here next week. Of course, the overall standings, that's a whole different monster right there. I'll have to find a way to shrink this up, I think, for people to see better, because I notice it's... Help you out a little bit there. Joe Wells with a 59-point lead over Gilbert. Shane Ward 230 back now. Melnick and Scott Wise, your top 5. You see Dylan back there in the 11th position. So you got close to the top 10. Not quite there yet. So still a 2-horse race in that battle. But anything can happen still, as we still have 6 races to go after tonight. So, all right, we're going to head out. Going to get some rest. And come back at it next week from the 07 Daytona. Everybody stay warm, of course, with this system coming through. Stay safe. And just know the winter's almost over. It's almost there. As we warm back up here. And, well, of course, everything but Miami. I think Miami was in the 70s today, so go figure. Anyways, we're going to head out. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. And always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See you.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain eSports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for the continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain eSports Network.